In today's video, I'm sharing the 7 mindset shifts that helped me turn my blogging gig full-time, quit my 9-to-5 corporate job, and turn my passion into a flourishing online business. Hi there, my name is Katie and I'm a full-time blogger. I've been blogging for over 10 years. My God. And here on YouTube, I teach about social media and building an online business. So have you ever thought about becoming a full-time blogger? Maybe you did start a blog once, but then it got a little bit much and you gave up. Well, I kind of hear this a lot. While starting a blog is pretty easy, keeping and building it can be really tough. So that's why I thought in today's video, I take you behind the scenes and share all the mindset shifts and things I do on my blog that have helped me build this business. So if you're ready, let's do this. The first step to becoming a full-time blogger is understanding why you want to do this. Why do you want to blog? What are your goals? Once you understand your motivations, it will be much easier to stay focused and achieve your blogging goals. Because I see this all the time. People start their blog and they're super motivated, but then they realize, oops, this is actually really hard work. And the thing here is building a successful blog has zero to do with being motivated, because nobody is motivated all the time. The key is to take massive action even when you don't feel like it. You need to want this bad enough that you're willing to push through the tough times. I know that there will be times when you will want to give up on your blog, and it's during these times that you need to focus on your why and push through. When you know why you're doing this, it becomes a lot easier, right? Your why is a constant reminder of your goals and what you're working towards. Sometimes blogging is really boring. I sit on my computer for hours and hours and I get super bored and frustrated. And then I remind myself of why am I doing this? So for me, this is that I've always loved to work, but I always wanted to be a mom too. I used to worry a lot about how I could manage both a career as well as a family. And I used to work in corporate, right? I knew if I'd stay in corporate, I'd always have a boss who would have like the upper hand on what I do with my time. And that's when I started to realize the potential of blogging and the freedom it could bring me and to fulfill my dreams, right? But this doesn't mean that I don't work hard or I'm not working my butt off, but I do have some flexibility, right? So whenever I need more motivation and things get really hard, I think about why I'm doing this and that this is part of living my dream, right? Okay, now the second thing to make it as a blogger is you need to have systems and routines in place from the beginning. This will make your life so much easier and it will help you stay consistent. Like one idea for this is to batch your content, for example. This means that you sit down and write a bunch of content all at once. And then you schedule it out to be published over time. This way you don't have to worry about writing new content every single day. Another way to be consistent is to have a content calendar. This is basically a plan for what you're going to write about and when you're going to publish what. This helps to keep you on track and make sure that you're publishing new content regularly. So aside from your systems, routines can also be very helpful. When you're a blogger, it's not like your boss is calling you about your deadline each morning. When you're your own boss, you need to be the one pushing yourself. I could stay in bed all day. No one will know except me. So I try to have a pretty clear working hours. So for example, from 8 to 5. This works for me, but it could also be different for you. Having clear hours makes it a lot easier. I also have daily routines that help me stay focused and productive. I start my day with some exercise, then I bring my baby to daycare, and then I sit down at my desk and I start working. I also take breaks throughout the day, especially over lunch, and I go on a walk with the dog. This way, it's easier to be focused when I'm back at work. I get a lot done because I know these are the exact hours I have to work, and I really make the best of it. If you can establish some routines and systems from the beginning, it will be much easier to maintain your blog and then be consistent with your content. Another thing that has really helped me become a full-time blogger is taking care of my mental health. Like there are going to be many roadblocks in your way to success, and sometimes it really feels like this blogging thing is never going to work. And this is where so many people, again, just stop, because mentally it just gets too much. It is a lot of pressure. So I do focus a lot on my mental health, so that I know how to hype myself up and remind myself of my why in the moments I need it. There are just a few things that I do to make sure that I'm taking care of it. So first of all, I make sure to exercise regularly. This is so important for me because it helps me release all the stress and stay focused. I personally love to work out. I do strength training. I go on daily long walks with my son and my dog. I also have a dedicated workspace and a desk where I sit down to work. I do not work from my couch or my bed. It would make it really difficult for me to separate work and off times, as I do work from home. Then I also meditate every day. This helps me to relax and to keep my mind clear. I use an app called Headspace. I highly recommend it if you're looking to get into meditation. And lastly, I make sure to make time for some fun. Right now, I only work 3 days a week. This means I'm spending 2 full days with my son, and we have family time on the weekends where we go on hikes and we meet friends, right? Stuff like that. Now, next, I really focus on my priorities on my blog. There are always more things you need to do than you have time to do. Usually you don't have a team or anybody supporting you when you start a blog, so you are doing it all. This means you need to be very clear about your priorities and what's the most important thing right now. So for me, it was really important to focus on creating content and building an audience when I first started the blog. This means that I didn't do a lot of other things like creating a massive course or creating a lead generating quiz or doing a 1-hour webinar. That was just too much for me then. I needed to focus on the basics first, which was creating content that my audience wanted to read or watch. Of course, you can't just create content and hope that people will find it. You need to be promoting your content as well. But even then, you need to pick 1 platform or 2 platforms max. So for example, YouTube and Pinterest. You can't be everywhere if you don't have a team. It's just impossible. At least not in the beginning. You need to focus on what's most important and what will have the biggest impact on your business. So make sure you align your priorities with your overall goals. Now, next, I believe that if you want to be successful with your blog, you need to become a doer. And now by this, I mean you need to find out ways to figure out things. Like no one has time to find out things for you and solve your problems for you. Now, I personally love taking online courses because you learn so much in a very short amount of time. But other times I also Google a ton and watch YouTube videos. Or you could get a coach, but you can't expect people to solve your entire problems for you because there are technical problems or blog issues coming up all the time. You need to become a person who figures out like before leaving a question, spending time on an email or DMing someone about something, just do a quick Google search. The other person is probably not going to write you back, so now you're stuck waiting for an answer. Like I'm a master Googler for real. I watch YouTube videos at 2 times the speed, so I can watch double the amount of content in half the time. Then I can piece the information from different videos together to find a solution that works for my issue, right? So things like that. You really need to become a doer. Okay, next, I believe that to become successful at blogging, you need to fall in love with learning new things. Like I teach about Pinterest and blogging, which is evolving all the time, and I need to keep up with a lot of things. Otherwise, all my content will become irrelevant, right? So falling in love with learning new things is so important. Sometimes I also like to invest money into courses, like I said before. I've actually spent thousands of dollars on educating myself on topics I wanted to learn more about. So I, for example, taken courses like Stupid Simple SEO for learning about Google, affiliate marketing courses, blogging bundles. I've also taken Marie Forleo's B School and Amy Porterfield's course creation course. I link to all the courses in the description below if you want to check them out. Like I love to educate myself, and I know this is important as a blogger and also as an entrepreneur. And finally, my last tip is that it's okay not to be perfect. Like, you don't need to have your whole life figured out in order to start your successful blog. You're going to make mistakes along the way, and that's totally fine. It's part of the journey. Just learn from those mistakes and keep moving forward. Also, please don't compare yourself to others. Everyone's journey is different. I know this is hard. It's hard for me too. Just focus on your own path and what you need to get done. If you want to go back to my first YouTube video, I mean, literally everything is wrong with it. The audio, the frame rate, the weird camera angle. But you know what? Did I let myself off the hook? No. Did I know my videos were shitty? Sure I did, but you cannot not do it because you want to be perfect from the start. You're really only getting better if you just do it. And I still get comments about typos and audio quality, and it annoys you guys and it annoys me too, but I just remind myself that while this is maybe what this person took away from that piece of content, most other people walk away with incredible amount of value, and that's all I want. Like, better than perfect. Now, these were the 7 mindset shifts and strategies that I used to go from broke to making 6 figures in my blog. So if you haven't started your own blog yet, this is your sign to get started. You can click here to watch this video here, and we set up your brand new blog together in absolutely no time. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe for more blogging and Pinterest related content. I will see you next week with a new video. Cheers!